Mahomes got to play. He got to play.
Yeah.
Unless you're not worried about having the number 1 seed, which most people will be, he's got to play. The thing is, this is where Andy Reid will be Andy Reid.
Yeah.
They're going to run this football. They're going to get the ball out quick. Mahomes will push through. He'll run if necessary, but this is where you say, hey, listen, O-line.
Yeah.
Tighten up. Yo, we are back. We are back. Welcome to McCoy Van Noy, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL. I am one half of your gracious host, none other than Gerald McCoy, the 93rd wonder of the world. Big chest from the Midwest, the one that never fails. I only thrive. Why, killer? Because I'm from the south side of the 405. And my gracious co-host is
Kyle Van Noy, your boy with the Baltimore Ravens, 2-time Super Bowl champ, and trying to compete for an AFC North title. Let's go.
Let's get
How
it.
you doing, G? How you doing?
Great. Hey, excuse me, man. I know y'all see me sweating. Y'all like, dang, G, the show just started. You ain't even really got into it. Let me tell y'all a quick story, man.
Yeah, you got to tell us.
I run in the evening. I get my workout in whenever I can. Today, had a busy morning. Trying to get my daughter a passport, ran some errands. We going on vacation for Christmas. So I'm like, you know what? Let me get my run in this evening.
Where are you going for Christmas real quick?
Canada. Going to Canada, man.
Okay.
Yeah, going to Whistler, going to Toronto. My son's a huge Drake fan, so we going to Toronto for sure, and then we going to Montreal. We getting ready to get, geared up for that. So I'm like, let me get my run in, my lift in the evening. And I'm running. And I start hearing barking. Now, in my neighborhood, that's normal. I live in a suburban neighborhood. Most people have dogs. And, they had them outside. I hear barking. And then all of a sudden, I feel like this burn on my leg. I said, man, what the heck? And I look down, this dog is biting me. So I just got bit by a freaking dog. And, I
better
just
go
kept
get
running.
checked for rabies.
I know, man.
Bro.
I be so locked into my workouts. My dumb self just kept running, and it was the parents wasn't there. The teenage girl was there. She was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "I'm fine. It's cool. It's just a little bite." And I kept running.
Yeah.
I'm like, "No, it's not okay."
You got rabies, bro. You need to go get checked out.
I'm over here sweating trying to record a show. It's all good, man.
I don't like dogs either. I'm not a dog person.
Man. You know what? Why I'm okay with that? You know why? Because my brother's team got to win. My team got to win. So we are winning right now. Ain't nobody going to steal my joy. You can't steal my joy, mutt. You're a mutt. You can't steal my joy. Killer. Y'all came back off bye week. Y'all went to New York or Jersey, however you want to call it. Yep. Whatever, man. The New York football Giants. Y'all had Baltimore Ravens came to town and y'all put on a show. Talk to me about it, my brother.
It was a game coming off a bye week with just kind of this attitude. Every game for us from here on out is a playoff game. If we're trying to go where we want to go, every game's a playoff game, and it started against the Giants. Sorry to the Giants. I mean, it was bad news bears for them. We knew what type of time it was, and we needed to show up and, continue to lay the groundwork that we put in before and just turn it over to them. And that's what we did. LJ had a hell of a day. 5 tugs, looked like an MVP. I don't know what the hell these talking pundits are talking about. The race is over. I know, Josh Allen is balling right now. Deservedly so, he should get talks, but let's pipe it down a little bit. LJ's hooping still. I know Josh Allen's beat a couple teams, but LJ, we did beat them as a team, and LJ balled in that game. So that's got to be a little bit in there. How people forget is kind of crazy. But anyways, back to the game. We played dominant defense for the most part. Too many penalties for me. I think it was a little too panicky playing the football in a couple areas. There was one B Steve got called on that I was like, what? But that's part of the game. Just got to clean those up and do a better job of emphasizing those to each other as players to knock it off. But all in all, pretty clean game offensively. LJ did have the turnover, but he repented for that sin. And, it was a pretty good complimentary football game. Special teams had their hand in it. Defense had their hand in it. And then offensively had their hand in it. And that's how you want to play football. I think it was a pretty crisp game overall. And, getting excited for this matchup. This matchup really is going to be electric on Saturday, 4:30. So it's going to be a night game essentially because it gets dark so early on the East Coast. It's ridiculous. Hopefully whoever's in charge of that from the House to the president can figure that out and be done with that. So it was exciting to get back on there. I also have to shout out Mark Andrews. He is a dog. I mean, a lot of people were hating on him during the season. He was battling with injuries. It was crazy. During training camp, there was 6 of us, including myself, that got into car accidents. It was wild, actually. Yeah. So I got one in one, and Mark got in one. Mark's was really scary. I'm grateful. He was kind of spooked after his. It was kind of scary hearing the details and all of that. It was scary. So it was like good he was there, and then he was battling an injury. So a lot of people were hating on him at the beginning, trade him. He's washed, blah, 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 blah. Now look, now who's talking?
It's something about those Sooners. It's something about when you write off a Sooner. It's something about, because he went to Oklahoma, right? He went to Oklahoma, right? Yeah. It's something about when you write those guys off, they just somehow shake back, man. There's a guy that's playing very well right now who used to throw the ball to Mark. We'll get into that. Don't worry about it. Continue.
But yeah, I had to shout out Mark for his 48th touchdown. He leads the Ravens organization. He is the king of the touchdown with the Ravens. Shout out to Mark Andrews. So happy to be his teammate. I love Andrews. That's my guy, and I love his speeches because you already know what type of time Mark Andrews on. He's going to let you know what type of time it is, and it's always good to play with players like that.
Yeah, and as I was watching the game, I'm like, man, it is the Giants. This is I don't think many people expected much from the Giants. Really, it's the NFL, so you prepare as if you're playing for the Super Bowl every week. That's how you're supposed to prepare. You get ready for these games, but you know who's on your team and you know who's on their team.
For sure.
And like, listen, fellas, let's just go play like us, beat these boys down and keep it pushing.
Yep, and that's exactly what we did, G.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody really expected much. Y'all did what y'all was supposed to. I got one gripe, though. Just one. I mean, you know what just one feels like, right? Just one. My dog only got one sack. Just one. I'm like, come on, killer. This is the time. We gotta get to that
scratching
magic
and
number.
crawling. I know.
It's the game to get to the magic number, man. Listen, y'all got Pittsburgh coming up. I expect you to get to that magic number this week. But like that, you don't want to. You going to this game. This would be a great week to get it. Rivalry game. Yep. All eyes on you. That's the time to get it. But I'm just saying, we've all played in these games where it's like, hey man, if the pressure's off a little bit, we can kind of pin our ears back and go get it. I'm like, killer, you got your one. I'm like, killer, go get your second. Well, let's get to that magic number, and then let's prepare for Pittsburgh. But it's all good. We're gonna hit that number this week.
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, we got to get to that number. It would be a blessing to get it, especially in my 11th season, to get 10 plus sacks. I mean, especially after myself personally being written off. I mean, I was looked to be a contributor, just kind of an added piece last year, and then to be able to sign a multi-year deal to come back and produce at a higher level than I did last year. It's been fun, man.
Yeah, man, and it's been great watching you guys, and I'm excited for this game. Like you said, man, this is gonna be electric. So
it's gonna be electric.
I'm excited for it. And to your point, we can't write off what Lamar has done just because somebody else is playing well. That does not mean that another person is just like, oh, this is over. We can't go off recency bias.
But that's what they do. That's what brings, the drama. But
that's what an MVP candidate is.
Yeah.
They're supposed
to
be
sit here and
balling.
say it's over is crazy. I love Dan Orlovsky, a good friend of mine, teammate. But like, you can't just say it's over and then not have proof that it's over after then watching, Lamar do what he did against a team. Like, you also said the things about Josh Allen when he did it against the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll keep the same energy when Lamar does it when he's supposed to,
Yeah, and it's all good. You know what's going to happen? Lamar's going to ball this weekend.
Yep, this weekend's the game.
And he's going to go crazy, and everybody going to go, every time we write this guy off. Duh.
I also saw a stat that he's only played the Pittsburgh Steelers once at home as a starter. And
really?
And that time was against Roethlisberger, where they went 7-0, and I believe the Ravens went 5-2. I believe I was reading up on that, and that was the only time he's started against the Steelers.
That must have been that
home.
2020 season.
Yeah,
Pittsburgh probably started 11, and that's the year they started 11-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's probably that year.
Yeah,
and it's all good.
We got more football coming back soon. We are going to catch a break. See you in a sec. NFL news, Week 15 recap. Here we go. This is the segment where let's get into this game. This was probably the game of the week. The Buffalo Bills 48, the Detroit Lions 42. Firework offensively and defensively for a bit for Buffalo. But this game was an electric city game. It had everything you can imagine. Big plays, small plays. I mean, any type of plays, trick plays, all the plays in this game, G. It was actually a fun game to watch. Josh Allen, record-breaking performance. Jared Goff also had one too, but you wouldn't know it because it doesn't matter how good you play when you lose. This was a game. I want to know your thoughts on this game, like quick thoughts, and then I want you to give me a nugget in this game that somebody maybe hadn't seen or something that you want to get off your chest from the big Midwest.
Josh Allen is incredible. The boy was out there dealing. Josh Allen, for the second week in a row, has went into somebody else's house and went stupid on their turf. No pun intended. But, he's playing like an MVP. And the score doesn't show how, kind of big a margin this game was, man. Buffalo was getting buckets, man. And
there was belt to ace for a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, it was. And but it just shows how resilient, the Lions are. We talked about them. We talked about them in a positive light, and we're going to talk about them in a positive light now. The great teams find a way to compete. Now, they didn't get the win, but with injuries, they
lost the battle, though, man.
Aleem McNeil, Khalil Dorsey, Carlton Davis, and Montgomery. All these players went out in this game, and they lost by 6 points. They lost by 6 points, man. And these are like guys that's going to IR, and they still managed to fight back and make it a game. And my only thing is, when I've talked about the Detroit Lions, my only apprehension has been, which is kind of a love-hate thing, the head coach. Sometimes being a certain way can be a detriment, and it could be a positive until it's not. Going for it on fourth down, taking these risks, just trusting your team, like we all in. Being all in is great, but it's like in the NBA, you can live by the 3 or die by the 3, and taking these risky choices, it catch up to you when it catch up to you. He had that questionable onside kick. You down 10, it's the fourth quarter. And it's
12 minutes left, fourth quarter.
Yeah, it's like, well, why though?
So I have a question to that though, because as somebody that has been in games as well and has made, green dot decisions or have vetoed a decision on a field to switch a play call because of me being in the game versus somebody being out the game. What are your thoughts on him seeing his defense, knowing that they knew they couldn't stop him anyways, right? He saw it. He saw the heartbeat of the defense. He was like, hey, might as well try for an onside. They're going to score anyways. Like, might as well try at least to get a stop. And then if we do get it, then, hey, we're on that side versus them getting the ball and marching down the field and wasting more time. Because I figured that's what he was thinking.
Yeah, I mean, that's cool. If you're a strategic coach and that's what you're known for, that's one thing, but that's not the message you preach. You know, like you don't fold. This team is not a team that folds. It's like, oh, well, this is what's happening. I just know we can't. No. This is a team that's built on grit and biting kneecaps. And man, you kick the ball off and you play defense. You trust your team to go out there and get a stop. I remember when they was playing Houston and the second half, Jared Goff was throwing the picks. His interview to start the second half, he said, man, somebody got to go make a play. Like, the only way to get back in this game, we got to take the ball away. We got to steal a possession. First play in second half, Carlton Davis pick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but it's got to be a little different mindset when you have you don't even have that player in the game. You have a bunch of practice squad players playing. You're just hanging by a thread. I know they're getting paid. I know everybody on the field's a playmaker, but I feel like there was clearly an advantage for Buffalo's offense versus the defense. Sure. So it's kind of like, make a play, but at the same time, if I can spring a play through this, then the result could potentially put more pressure on the Buffalo Bills, which then maybe they could make a play in a tight game where they're nervous. I saw what he was trying to do, and I know after the fact it looks crazy because Mac Hollins, taps it one hand and takes it all the way down to the 5-yard line, and it's like, oh, Dan Campbell, what an idiot. But at the same time, like, would you rather have them waste 5-6 minutes of the play clock and then they score another touchdown and then you have no opportunity to get the offense back on the field and you're still down 3 scores. So like, I totally agree with what you're saying is like, if you're about that life, you need to be about it no matter what. But I think it's changed a little bit with the dynamic of where he's at with the defense. I mean, they're beat up, man. I feel bad.
Yeah, that whole team is beat up, man. And the thing is, I feel bad for this team because they are a great team. Like, they're past good. This is a great team, especially when healthy, man. The Sonic and Knuckles, Amon-Ra St. Brown,
Aiden Hutchinson and Zadarius Smith would have been awesome.
Zadarius Smith would have been a great tandem. Yeah, man. Like,
and Davenport in there too. That would have been a good D-line.
Yeah, then Carlton, when he's in there healthy, like, they would have been a great group. And, the season's not over. Anything can happen. But I'm just saying, like,
sure.
We're not writing them off, but it's just like,
I wonder if they're going to look at Xavier Howard, old teammate of mine, played man. I know Glenn likes to play man a lot. Good football player. I'm just thinking about different football
guys you can go get.
You can go get. I know Bryce Callahan, another. I don't know if he's in the business of playing anymore, but very good man-to-man slot corner. So. I'd be curious to see what they're going to do with that. I know it's really late in the game, but I want to mention something I tweeted out earlier on Monday that basically about the turf and Ford Field and how many body parts it's taken and how I feel like nobody's really talking about it that much. And, the amount of, like I said, body parts that it's taken in the sense of like injuries from concussions to knees to ankles to everything, and how it needs to be on notice. Like it's getting crazy over there. Like the amount, and this goes back to even when I was there as a Lions player, from Calvin Johnson's ankle there to Stephen Tolek when he celebrated doing the double discount check. Aaron Rodgers, he tore his ACL doing that. To McNeil, bouncing on one leg, and that's 10 years. To even when I was playing on a different team with the Patriots. Julian Edelman tore his knee there. So there's been so many injuries.
I sprained my MCL in 2014.
Huh?
I sprained my MCL in 2014 at Ford Field.
Yeah. So the list goes on. I mean, it's pretty crazy the amount of body parts it's taken over. And I just feel like you got to raise the question to, is this the best playing surface? And I know we talk about it and it's an NFLPA and all that, but just as a spectator, as a fan as well, it's kind of like you would want to protect your investment as much as possible. I mean, you're putting, millions into the game. I would just want the best playing surface to keep my investments healthy. So I wonder if that'll continue to be a discussion. I don't know how you feel about it, G, but I feel like it needs to be thrown out there as people continue to see their, the Lions defense fall apart and see all the injuries. I know there's a couple, like Aiden Hutchinson was on Cowboys turf.
It's turf, period. It's just turf, period, man. Agreed. They gotta get rid of this turf, man. And I'm talking about, like, I'm about to age myself, but I played on back in high school. There's where we still played on AstroTurf. Like, we were wearing basketball shoes. And that, you talk about this turf, we was thinking this was an upgrade. That AstroTurf was concrete. That wasn't nothing but carpet. So you play on that, then you get on this turf. I was actually the first game at AT&T. It was OU versus BYU of all
Sorry
schools.
About it.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, and we was on the turf, and we was like, I don't like this, and just turf, period, man. And it's a touchy subject for me because the start of the end of my career started on turf. I was at the Star in training camp, the Cowboys. We were on turf doing basic warm-ups, individual, tried to give my guy a look. He hit me, and I stepped back, and my knee just popped. And it's just like, freak, man. Like, it's just turf, it just doesn't give enough, man. And we really gotta think about this. Like, you can bring in grass. Even if it's a dome, you can bring grass in. And I think it's
especially when they're doing it for the World Cup. The rumors are they're bringing grass in the World Cup. I think that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So
I'm so grateful the bank has grass. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, but like Carolina, when I was playing there, it was grass. Now it's turf.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, why?
I think more because teams are entertainment pieces. You play football 8 games out of the season, and then the rest is, entertainment. A lot of entertainment, a lot of moving parts. So like a football field's in the stadium, I think that's kind of like afterthought now, right? I think
it is.
It's just it's business, and that's our. I mean, you gotta
because it used to be a football stadium. Was football stadium? That's what it was used for. Now it's concerts there. It's like people performing outside. They using it for everything. It's
gonna be like in college. We had an indoor facility at BYU. They used to kick the football players out from working out there because they had the intramurals in there, the parties in there. They had all sorts of BS in there, and it's ridiculous. Football team, you would think they would have their own indoor facility. They would call the security on us to kick us out because it was their turn to have the field. And I always thought that was crazy. It's kind of going to be similar to what's going to be happening in these NFL.
They did this?
Oh yeah, the BYU indoor, they used to kick us out for working out there, doing extra. If there was intramurals playing or whatever event was in there, anything and everything, they say, you got to go. This is not your time. You have to book your own time, and would call the cops on us. It was crazy.
That's insane.
It was insane. So it's probably going to start happening in the NFL maybe. Well, you never know.
We'll see, man.
But let's go to the next game, because this next game was important for us, right? Philadelphia 27, Pittsburgh 13. They lost, so now Pittsburgh's now only one game up on us, and now we get a chance to be tied after this weekend when we win, hopefully. And this was a good game watching. I felt like it was a physical game.
How'd you feel about the whole AJ Brown, them fixing it? I know we discussed it, but I'm talking about how you feel about like them, how they perform together.
Yeah,
to even Jalen Hurts.
Even Jalen Hurts
conference and said,
"Yeah, I know, I saw that.
What y'all wanted to see."
That was swaggy a little bit. But at the same time, I'm also the type of person you got to be who you always are. So like, and I know Hurts is very stoic and he's been respectful. Mm-hmm. Like, I wouldn't even have mentioned it. I'd have just smiled. Keep it moving. Like
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. Like, I'm answering questions just like how I always been. I don't need to say nothing because you already know what type of time it is. That's me. That's what I probably would have done. I know he feels probably a different way. He probably feels a lot of pressure, and it probably felt good to say because he did have a good game. But next time you do have a struggle game, guess what they gonna do? See, we told you.
That's what we thought we see.
You know what I mean? And I didn't want him to give them ammo because I do think he's a good man. I don't want him to even give them that type of energy. They don't deserve it. But he did have a really good game. I felt like he was pretty accurate in this game. I felt like they did a good job of giving him one thing that stood out to me in this game was the check down. One to Gainwell or a dragging receiver and the receiver just getting north, not dancing around. There was a couple to Gainwell. There was one that he ended up getting a good block by Dodson that went he juked, I believe, Jackson, scrambled off for a first down. That was a big play. Another one was in the red area where he squeaked through Joey Porter and Patrick Queen for a first down on third down. I just thought those were some key plays in the game where, Jalen Hurts looking and then dumping it to the check down and the check down getting first down. That is hard to beat when that happens. I felt they were successful with that. I felt like Saquon did his job in this. I didn't feel him all the way. I felt Gainwell a little bit more in this game. But I would just say overall, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, man, those dudes are ballers. And, the Steelers played man-to-man and, those rub routes that they were running all game worked. And it was just one of those grinded out games for them. And then offensively, Pittsburgh, I felt like we're in it the whole game until the fumble. I felt like the fumble kind of changed the whole game. What did you think?
Yeah, the thing I said, because we had a topic about this on the other show, and it was about, is there like a passing problem? And I said, you know what, man, Jalen Hurts hasn't done anything different than he's always done. We can't look at Jalen Hurts and go off numbers. Jalen Hurts has not been a numbers guy. He's got, there's years where he plays and it's like, oh, Jalen Hurts is the top of this, whatever. He's not a guy who's going to go out and throw for 400 yards, 500 yards. But what he is going to do is going to be efficient. The issue we've had with Jalen Hurts, we've seen it, which we haven't seen in a while. TJ Watt punching the ball out. Jalen Hurts has had an issue with turnovers.
And he had one in this game.
With fumbles and interceptions since he's come in the league. But what we haven't seen this year is him turn the ball over. He's been efficient. So when everybody's making a big deal about the passing game, I'm like, okay, look at the numbers. Miles Sanders, at this point, when in 2022, he had 1,000 yards rushing. Jalen Hurts had 3,100 yards plus passing. At this point in this year now, before this game, Saquon Barkley had 1,600 yards. Jalen Hurts had 2,600 yards passing. Okay, where did that 500 yards go? It went to Saquon Barkley. Not only has he been dominant in the run, he's been dominant in the pass. He catches the ball at the backfield. He's making people miss and going yard. So you're not going to see an Eagles team that's just pass, and everything that Jalen Hurts do, play off the run the ball, play action. Okay, boom, drop back, I got you. Hit AJ, hit Devontae. hit Saquon out the backfield. He's picking you apart piece by piece. Jalen Hurts operates this system to perfection. Yeah. And because he had an off game, it's not like he had an off game versus a team that wasn't surging. Both of us was giving the Panthers their credit.
Yeah.
We was giving these guys their credit because they were playing well. They were getting better and getting better, and Bryce Young was getting better and better.
Only to play how they played against the dang Cowboys.
Exactly.
So.
But here's what happened. They did the opposite of what y'all did. Y'all went to New York and knew, okay, this could easily be a trap game. We coming off the bye week. We're not going for the BS. We're going to beat these boys down and go home. They knew Carolina was coming into town. They're like, man, this is the Panthers. We just beat Baltimore in their house. This is the Panthers. And they didn't play well. Good thing is they were the better team, so they won. But you know what they did? They did what professionals do. They did what the great teams do. They went into that building and said, look, let's tighten up. And Pittsburgh, who obviously is no slouch, y'all fighting them for the division right now, came into their house, and Philly did what they were supposed to do. They played great defense. They ran the ball. And those passes, those touchdowns to Devontae and A.J. Brown, there was some tight window throws, man. There was some great throws by Jalen.
Especially the touchdown to Devontae.
That's what I'm saying.
You did mention the defense, and I do think we need to talk about them just for a sec. The Eagles' defense is playing elite
they balling,
football.
Bro.
My goodness.
They are balling.
Nolan Smith, his surgence on that edge as a edge rusher, he's developing over time. I think his confidence is just gaining. Sweat is looking a lot better. Carter, I mean, he might be one of them ones right now. Like when I saw him on the tape,
Jalen Carter can ball. You don't look at Jalen. If you looked at the paper right now, it's like, oh man, whatever. Yeah. Watch the game.
Yes.
Some people dominate, like Casey Hampton. A lot of you guys don't know who Casey Hampton was.
Baller.
Or even Vince Wilfork.
Baller.
Vince Wilfork didn't have crazy numbers, but when you watch the game, can't nobody move him. He's destroying people. Look at Vita. Look at Vita Vea right now. Vita's actually getting some numbers now. You know, he's got 6 sacks. But when you watch Vita play, it's his disruption. He's destroying people. It's just like, move him. They can't move him. He throwing him all over the place. Jalen Carter, he in the backfield. I want to give Jordan Davis his credit.
Yep.
Those Georgia boys in the middle, they're making it happen, man. Yeah. Milton, he's balling. Like they as collectively, and they got 3 corners that can go man to man and lock you up.
Yep.
And that is a luxury. When
what
you
is
got
it?
Guys up
Quintanamo.
Quinyon Mitchell.
That
you talking about how they call? Yeah. That's a fire name.
That's a fire
name. Yeah.
And then
Cooper
Big Play Slay, who doesn't be quiet.
Listen, this is our show, McCoy Van Noy, so I can say this. That white dude at corner, a white dude at corner locking up like that. Hey man, I know we talk about Christian McCaffrey.
Yo,
and how cold
white chocolate.
Is. That Cooper DeJean, that white boy at corner.
He might be cookies and cream.
Man, whatever he is, that boy, hey, listen, them boys over there, man.
The white Reese's?
Yeah, man. That Darius Slay, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean is locking up, man. That man, the man in the back here.
The
man.
safety holding it down in the back, he's balling too. All of them are. Zach Bond,
This is what's happened with Philly. Their offense has been rolling for the last 3 years, but then you add in Saquon. But now what's happening is these young boys on this defense, they finally got the defense rolling, and that's what makes Philly so scary because they're good top to bottom on both sides of the ball.
Don't get beat over the top, nothing.
Nope. And special teams, they got a good kicker. Like that's, and they defend home. The question was with Philly, last year they fell apart internally. They imploded. This year, same thing. We seen what happened, okay? A.J. Brown got in the media, said what he said. All right? Brandon Graham got in the media, said what he said. You know what Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown said? Wait, hold up. We good. We got this. They came out this week and showed you how to be resilient. We're not the same old Philly like we was where we imploded. That's not happening this year. And that's what I noticed the most, and that's what I was most excited about watching this game. And Philly, they gonna be a tough out, man.
Yeah, they are a tough out. And you know who else is a tough out is Kansas City, who won again. Got to talk about that game because Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City 21, Cleveland 7. Patrick Mahomes went out in this game with a high ankle injury. Now, what do you think, G? What's going to happen?
He'll be all right.
He'll be all right? I agree.
He'll be all right.
I agree.
I think he'd be all right.
Now, the thing is, do you push through it? I don't know the severity of it. It's not like it's the playoffs like it happened last time where he just trucked through. It's all good. This is different because he's in the same program that I am, the 3 games in 10 days or 11 days. I feel like it switches. They got Houston coming to town, their front is elite when all healthy. Yeah. I mean, them boys are rocking when healthy, and they're going to be coming alive against KC. Do you sit him?
Here's how you got to look at it. Buffalo is playing the Patriots.
Yep.
Okay. You look at Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. All right. I'm obviously picking Baltimore, but you look at who can catch us as the number 1 seed right now.
Just Buffalo. Buffalo, they play Patriots, the Jets, and I think the Patriots.
Yeah. So you look and say, okay, dang, we got the Texans coming in. Yep. Texans are going to try and get it. They've already won the division, so their spot is sealed. All right. And then the Chiefs didn't have Pittsburgh.
Steelers. Yep. And Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. And then they finish up with the Broncos. So Buffalo has Patriots, Jets. Patriots, the Chiefs have Texans, Pittsburgh, Denver. Mahomes got to play. He got to play. Yeah. Unless you're not worried about having the number 1 seed, which most people will be, he's got to play. The thing is, this is where Andy Reid will be Andy Reid.
Yeah.
They're going to run this football. They're going to get the ball out quick. Mahomes will push through. He'll run if necessary, but this is where you say, hey, listen, O-line.
Yeah.
Tighten up.
Yep.
Tighten up. And this is what champions do. You're a champion. You know it. I'm telling y'all, man, we would practice against the Patriots in training camp. I don't think he was there when we practiced against him. We practiced against the Patriots in training camp. And in one-on-one pass rush, D-line, O-line, destroy the Patriots. Killed them. We like, this is the champs. This is them. Soon as they got in team and 12 was back there, everything changed. Everything changed. You get one-on-one with this guard, it's like, bro, when did you become an all-pro? Like, what just happened? Why? I was just killing you. I was splitting that double over in team run because Tom didn't do the team run. I forget who's the quarterback then. I don't think Jimmy G was there. But
I think it was Mallet.
It's probably Mallet. But then when we got in team, oh, no. That was a different group. Timing was different. Everything was way faster, more crisp. You got to tighten up. This is what you got to do. I remember when Aaron Rodgers, he sprained his ankle or messed his knee up on a Monday night football game, and he went to the locker room. He came back out, and he finished the game, and they had a comeback versus the Bears, I believe it was, in Green Bay. I think it was. What happened is the O-line had to tighten up because they didn't have A-Rod that's mobile anymore. But what that guy can do, he can beat you with his right arm. And this is A-Rod when he was in his prime. You know Mahomes can beat you with his right arm. Andy's going to draw it up. Everybody else around Mahomes got to tighten up. The defense is going to be the defense. But we're going to have to speed up our operation. We got to run this ball, and we got to keep this guy upright because he can't move like he usually do. All these magical plays, we don't know if he can do it. But I tell you what, they can't sit him. Not if they want the number 1 seed, because Buffalo, the way they playing and the schedule they got,
they're coming.
Yeah. They got to play, man. They got to play. But they have the formula. They're champs. Andy Reid's been here. Mahomes has been here. We seen it in the Super Bowl. You know, they just find ways to win. So I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah. And with that being said, we're going to go to break another time, and then we're going to get back and talk about, tell us how you really feel, G?
We are back. We are back. I'm going to let Killer introduce this segment again, but before we do, all of us at the Yahoo family and the NFL family want to send our wishes and prayers out to one of the best athletes we've ever seen, definitely one of the best players to ever grace the turf or the grass, Mr. Randy Moss. I know growing up for me, the personal attachment to me, and I'm sure the Killer too, we used to play a game called Moss. When you catch the ball over somebody, it's called Moss, man.
Yes,
and his impact on this game is unmatched. And
I still do it in meetings, G. When someone gets dunked on, you'll hear my self in the back say, Randy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you know, his impact and
don't get dunked on when I'm around.
How he fought his whole career and his battle with cancer, man. He stepped away. Yep. And we're just sending love and prayers out to you.
All love.
Killer, I don't know if you want to talk about your personal impact, but I know my kids still today say, Daddy, man, today we was playing Moss. Like, you just don't understand, Randy, your impact on this game and just people in general. So love and prayers from my Yahoo family out to you. Killer, if you got anything move forward.
I don't have much. I think you just hit it on every aspect you could. I think you hit it on every aspect that you could. It's just the one thing that I love about Randy still is, just his energy. It goes all the way back when Tom Brady had his Hall of Fame ceremony for the Patriots, and he got his love that he deserved. He got almost like a minute standing ovation by the crowd. Just the amount of people that love Randy Moss. I mean, that was an awesome picture, probably for him, but for everybody that watched, well deserved. And I still be saying Randy in the meetings all the time. When someone gets dunked on, you'll hear me in the back be like, Randy.
Right.
So
right.
I love it, and he's a living legend, and I hope everything goes well with him. It was an awesome gesture on Sunday, seeing Adam Thielen with the jersey, and then on Monday night when Justin Jefferson scored the touchdown, shouting out Randy. I mean, true legend right there.
Yeah, for sure, man. So our thoughts and prayers go out to you, Mr. Randy Moss. Now, Killer.
Yep.
I'm going to let you have it.
No, this coming back because you know what time it is. It's Tell Us How You Really Feel, Gerald. I know you want to talk about this team because they deserve it after the game that they had and to stay in the playoff race. So tell us how you really feel, Gerald.
You know what, man? There comes a point in people's lives where you realize, you know what? I might have messed up. I might have messed up, man. And that's what happens with all you Falcons fans.
What did they do, G?
You Falcons fans, y'all got online and y'all posted all this. Oh, we got this player. We got this player. We got that guy. And they posted the roster and all of this. And I wrote underneath it all of that just for us to win the division again. Y'all beat us once. Gerald, I thought you was going to win the division. Y'all beat us again. I said, stand patient. It's cool. Y'all got us this year. Y'all beat us twice. Y'all own the tiebreaker. But just staying patient. Everybody wrote us off. We lost to Kansas City. We had a bad loss to Denver. And we had a close game, but we won versus the Carolina Panthers. And everybody, I don't know, Todd Bowles, and he should have done this. And I just don't, blah, blah, hey, we ain't trying to hear none of that. We just talked about Mark Andrews. How resilient he is, how great he's been, and how people wrote him off. You know what? There's a guy in Tampa that people wrote off. He got drafted number 1 overall, went to Cleveland, and people, he had the ups and downs. People said, oh, no. Then he went to Carolina. This ain't the same guy. Then he went to the Rams. Yeah. He goes to Tampa, and now look at us. We went on the road to L.A., and all my comrades, all of y'all, Rich Eisen, Steve Mariucci, Kurt Warner, all of y'all picked the freaking LA Chargers. And you know who I picked? I stood on business, 10 toes down, and I picked the Bucs. You know why? That wasn't a biased pick, even though it was halfway biased. But I know when you know people, when you know them, and you know what's being done, and you know the prep, and you know what's going on inside that building, you know what's about to happen. Oh, what happens? We start the game. Baker throws the pick, and they score, and it's like, oh, shoot, here go the Bucs. Here go the Bucs. And we beat on y'all boys. Yes, we did. 40-piece on the road. And hey, Killer, did you know who the number one scorer defense was?
I don't know. I think it was the Chargers, right?
It might have been the Chargers.
Oh,
and we 40-pieced them boys. It's all good.
Ooh-wee.
Hey, Dallas. I know y'all just beat Carolina. It's cool. Y'all just beat Carolina. Carolina was surging, so y'all feeling good about yourselves. But guess who's coming to town, baby? Yes, the Bucs will sell on in. We selling on into Dallas, and we gonna give y'all all that y'all want. That Carolina has to come to town, and then we gonna go beat on the Saints. It's all good, baby. And you know what happens? We win the division again, and I get to laugh at the Falcons once again. You know why? Because y'all wrote us off. But it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
What a great segment. And it actually leads into the next one of let's get into our weekly Drive to Win segment presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL. Gee, I know who you're going to pick, but I wanted to just roll it into the segment because the floor is yours.
Me? Let me just pull up some numbers. Can I pull up some numbers? Okay, I got a couple people. I just want to talk about a couple people. I don't know if y'all know these guys. One of them, just one of the most consistent, if not the most consistent wide receiver we've ever seen. Mike Evans, he had 590 yards going into this game. They said, oh, can Mike get his 1,000 yards? I don't know. Mike didn't really practice this week. He's been dealing with the hamstring. Yeah, all right. 9 receptions, 159 yards, 2 tubs on the number one scoring defense. Yeah, anyway, that's the first ballot Hall of Famer. Another guy that people don't talk about enough, Lavonte David, 12 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 1 TFL, 3 QB hits. And they keep not talking about this guy. He's having a first team all-pro type season. He's in his 13th season. And for some reason, we talk about all these other linebackers and their numbers and consistency, but we won't bring up Lavonte David. Yeah. Well, these two are my weekly Drive to Win guys. You know why? Because they deserve it. The 40-piece, and they held them to 17 or what? Yeah, 17. That means offense was balling, defense was balling. Hey, man, you should have let me get going about the Bucs because you know how I get. So I'm going to pass it on to you, Killer, so we can get out this
segment. Here we go. My Drive to Win is going to be my own teammate. I got to talk about him while others don't. Lamar Jackson. I mean, he had more touchdowns than he had incompletions. Let me say that again. He had more touchdowns with 5 than he did incompletions with 4. He was 21 of 25 with 290 yards and 5 touchdowns. He was practically flawless. He did have the little fumble, but we ain't even going to talk about that. He was my offensive player Drive to Win. I also had a defensive player Drive to Win, Nick Bonito. What a player this kid is. Number 15 for the Denver Broncos, had a pick 6 game-changing play. He has 12 sacks, I believe. He had another half sack in this game with another 5 tackles. He was my gamer wrecker of the dang week of the Drive to Win. And then I got to shout out a couple other guys in this. Devontae Adams, big game.
Oh, my gosh.
Big game.
He went
monster.
Stupid.
2 tugs,
oh my gosh,
10 catches, almost 200 yards. And then I got to go with my honorable mentions, got to go with the Eagles passing game, just because A.J. Brown was like, hey, passing. That's what we got to fix, passing. And boy, oh boy, did he fix it with the 8 catches, 110 yards and 1 tug. And then Devontae Smith did his thing too, as well as Jalen Hurts throwing them the rock. Those are all my Drive to Win. I had a couple, but definitely need to throw those guys that
Nick
were in
Bonito,
there.
What school he go to?
I hope not Oklahoma. I think he went to Ohio State.
You know exactly.
I hope he went to Ohio State.
He is and what school he went to, baby. Why? Hey, don't look so startled.
All right, we got week 16 games.
Wait, don't look so startled. I wonder why he's balling like that.
We get to week 16.
He's balling, the Pro Bowl, man.
Yeah, he's balling. He could be all pro with the numbers he's putting up. That's how good he's been playing this year. Thursday night game, big game Thursday night, just like last Thursday night game with the Rams and the Niners. This week, another big one in the division. We got the Broncos on the road at the Chargers. This is going to be to either add themselves into the mix even more, the Broncos, and then the Chargers going the wrong way. Who do you got, G?
You know what? This is going to sound crazy, but I feel like the Chargers bounced back from this. I think that they seen everything they did wrong, and they knew they had a quick turnaround. They tried to stay in it a little bit, but when it got out of hand, they kind of just, all right, they know what they need to do. And I feel like this defense is going to shake back. It's going to be defense versus defense. It's going to be a really good game, but I feel like the Chargers offense can move the ball a little better than the Denver offense. So I'm going to go with the Chargers to get this one at home. I know that's a shock, but I just got an inkling the Chargers going to get one at home.
Okay. This is a good, tough game. I think you hit all the points. I'll just go with the Broncos because it's going against you.
Yeah, that's
Saturday.
Whatever.
Two big games: Texans versus the Chiefs, Steelers versus the Ravens. I actually got the Texans in this one, just because that D line, Tua was like woo woo woo. I think the Chiefs O line's way better, but I feel like they're going to get in a groove again. I just think the Texans are going to win this one.
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are going to run the lights out the ball, and I think that Spags is going to frustrate the heck out of CJ. So I'm going to the Chiefs at home.
Okay.
Chiefs at home.
Then I'm taking the Ravens in this Steelers-Ravens matchup. No doubt about it for my
Baltimore
pick
at home.
with the Ravens.
Yep. I'm taking Baltimore at home. Me too.
All right. Patriots versus Bills.
Why are we doing this?
Bills.
Let's keep going.
Giants versus Falcons. Falcons. Lions versus Bears. Lions. Cardinals versus Panthers. Cardinals. Rams versus Jets. Rams. Eagles versus Commanders.
I'm still going Eagles.
Ooh, I'm going Eagles too.
It's gonna
Browns
be
versus Bengals.
Bengals.
Titans versus Colts. Colts.
That game is just whatever. I'm going Colts.
Vikings versus Seahawks.
Jeez, I don't know, man. This is not a gimme game.
Yeah, but Geno Smith, is he playing or is he not?
Yeah, you're right.
Sam Howell.
Minnesota.
I have Minnesota too. Jags versus Raiders.
COVID or the flu?
That's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
You want to stub your toe or you want a hangnail? Pick one. Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
That was hilarious.
What?
I'm thinking the Jaguars.
Hey, I'm going Jags, man. Screw it. Let's go Jags, man. All right. Oh, shoot.
Niners versus Dolphins.
Frank, man. They just beat the gangster out of Tua. Oh, my God. I don't know what. Tua was talking all that noise. Boy, they beat the gangster out of Tua. Man, what? Oh, my gosh. Man, yeah.
I'll go with the Dolphins.
I'm going Niners. They pissed. They pissed about all this stuff that just happened. I'm going to go Niners on the road, and then I'm going Bucs for sure.
Yeah, Bucs. And then Saints versus Packers.
Packers.
All right.
Yeah, man. Oh, man, that was great.
That was good. Great. Much needed laughs.
Yeah, that was great. Hey, listen. This has been wonderful, man. Hey, Killer, it's great to see y'all win. They suck, man. That's horrible. It's horrible, man. It's just like, no, I don't. What do you mean? No, I don't want to watch my grandma take a shower. Like, this is just horrible. It's just like a horrible sight. It's just like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? It is, man.
But we appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. those that tune in, we appreciate you. We really do. Thank you so much. Subscribe, follow us, hit the like button, comment, all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, please send in your questions. We want to hear from you. McCoy Van Noy at yahoo.com. Is it Yahoo Sports? Yeah, sorry. McCoy Van Noy at yahoosports.com. We want to hear from you. Please send in your questions, comments, videos, all that. Like Killer said, we love all y'all. Brett, John, Addy, we love everybody behind the scenes for keeping this show going, keeping this show great. We will see y'all next week. Killer, go out there and get them. Go take this division, baby. We are out.